Hi there. Today I wanted to put forward a little practice that you can put into place in your day-to-day. In Feldenkrais, we have a principle or an idea that is called going with the pattern. And it's such a beautiful and respectful way of working. Oftentimes, if someone comes in and they're in a kind of hunched position and kind of leaning forward, the tendency will be to we've got to stretch them out. And Feldenkrais is really beautiful and says, oh no, you know what? They're leaning forward. What about if we go more forward? They're already in that flexion pattern. Let's linger here rather than trying to force them out of it. And then by going with that pattern, the nervous system is in a comfortable, it's in a familiar space, and then it recognizes where it is and it makes adjustments. And if it is suitable, the system will come out of that kind of flexed position of its own kind of choosing. So this going with the pattern idea, it's actually something that we can use in the moment when we catch ourselves and we're feeling anxious and maybe we're doing something with our hands. We might be picking our nails, or we might even be biting our nails. We could be, putting our hands up against our foreheads and kind of digging in, or kind of twirling our hair, or even stroking and kind of gently kind of pulling on the hair. So we do all kinds of different things when we're actually feeling stressed. And if we can recognize that the things that we're doing, there's two kinds of benefits to kind of being with these. One is that it gives us a really good indication of where we're actually at. So if I've got my hands up against my head, or if I'm twirling my hair, or if I'm picking at my nails, I immediately have a visceral, a kind of visual, kinesthetic evidence of where my nervous system is at. And so then I can be like, maybe I'm more stressed than I thought I was. It's really fascinating. Sometimes we can be really, really stressed, and people will walk into my clinic and they'll say things like, I just don't think I'm that stressed, but my body is, I've got all these pains and I'm vomiting. And it's like, well, I think we can safely say that your body is demonstrating to you that you're actually much more stressed than you think you are. So sometimes we can think we're not stressed, or we think that we shouldn't be stressed, and yet our bodies are demonstrating something very, very different to us. So it's really good to go, my body is showing me that there's a little bit of something going on right now where there's not quite as regulated as I might like it to be. Something I do is I find myself kind of holding my thumb, and I'll maybe be having a conversation with someone, and maybe the conversation is more overwhelming than I thought it was, and I'll have kind of wrapped my hand around my thumb, and I'll kind of look down and I'll see my thumb, and I'll be like, oh, maybe I'm feeling more stressed than I thought I was. So again, we want to really kind of recognize that our body gives us all these beautiful cues, and it shows us how we're feeling. The other thing is that the action that we're taking is often an action that is trying to actually help us. It's trying to bring us back into a much more harmonious balance. So if you catch yourself picking your nails, or if you catch yourself twirling your hair, maybe just take a moment to be like, or maybe I'm more stressed, or more overwhelmed, or more mismatched to the environment than I thought I was. So we just initially just take that moment of awareness. And the stroking of the hair is a really good example, because actually the grooming, so many of the mammalian animals, grooming is a really important part of regulating the nervous system. So stroking or just running through the hair, you see animals picking out the little seeds and things from the hair of their clan. So these grooming responses, they are absolutely a part of regulating the nervous system. And so when you're doing something like twirling your hair, if you slow it down and you start to notice the feeling of the hair between your fingers, and you notice the feeling of the gentle sort of activation of the scalp, you could actually enjoy and make this movement a really pleasurable thing, knowing that you're actually doing something to soothe your nervous system that is really built into the biology. If you're picking your nails and you catch yourself picking your nails, you might even just slow it down and just soften the hands a little bit. You can still pick out the nails and make sure they're looking really nice and clean. But just slow it down and really see what you're doing. Notice with your eyes, have a little look, and then you might even just give your hands a little extra stroke. Just kind of flick the nails a little bit, and just make sure they're looking really good, so that you turn up to this unconscious habit with consciousness, and you go with the pattern. Oh, I want to hold my thumb. Okay, I'm gonna hold my thumb with tenderness, because this is something that I have found myself doing, so I'm going to do it really well. If you find yourself putting your hands against your head, maybe like linger here and give yourself a proper massage. Like, oh, actually, my brain is so tired. I think it just needs a little break, and I think I'm just going to give myself a big scalp and facial massage and just really linger here, so that you turn something into what you want it to be, what is going to make it actually feel like, oh, that's so much better, and use it as information and as something that you can go with. So take this idea and just see if next time you catch yourself doing something that you kind of go, oh, that's my nervous tick, that's my nervous habit, that you could turn it into a soothing habit, into something that actually is enjoyable and is actually helping you out and making you feel like you can calm down or you can wake up to the moment that you are experiencing. Give it a go and send me a message about how you find it. Thank you. Bye.